So if you're ready, let's go.
Okay, give me a minute.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, hold on. I need the drum roll. May I present to you the visibility queen from Malaysia, Joyan Chan. Yeah, Your Majesty. Welcome to the live show.
I love that opening. Thank you so much. It was awesome. I'm so excited to be here and talking to my best friend all the way from Netherlands, Herman Chow.
Okay, so now we have the visibility queen. Today we're going to talk about should you or should you not be visible in your personal brand? So why don't you just introduce yourself to the audience first, Joanne?
Sure. So I'm sure your followers, a lot of many people are watching, they don't know me yet. So I'm Joyan Chan. Hello, I'm Malaysian, but I live in Singapore. And I got connected with Chow through a networking event hosted by Bob Low from LinkedIn. And so I am the visibility queen. And this is actually given by your fairy godmother, Herman Chow. So that's why I use the visibility queen for this live. But usually I call myself the award-winning coach, which I am. I'm an award-winning coach for female entrepreneurs. I coach female entrepreneurs on their confidence, on their self-image, on their visibility, and help them create, I call it magnetic visibility, so that people come to you instead of you going to them, right? So that's basically what I do. Of course, you will learn more about what I do later when we talk about visibility.
Awesome. Let me show you some comments from the audience first. Jason Ferdinand. Good luck,
Hello.
Herman and Joanne. Hi, nice to see you, Jason. And then we have Krishna.
Hi, Krishna.
Hello. Good to see you. Good luck to us. Yes, thank you. And we also have Michael from Czech Republic. Hello, Michael.
Hi, Michael. Yeah. Why do we need luck?
Sorry, what did you say?
Why do we need luck? I have no idea.
Yeah, why do we need luck? Anyway, let's not talk about that today. Joanne, you and I were talking for 2 hours for the very first time, I think 2 to 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And today we are going to talk about a subject that you're so passionate about. I wonder
Yes.
how much time you're going to spend on this.
How much time do you have?
Well, let's do 30 minutes.
Sure. Yeah, I'm up for it.
All right, Joanne, what is the reason that you're so passionate about visibility?
Exactly. Right. And okay, if I don't mind sharing, like earlier before we come on the live show, we actually talk about why there's people who show up at a networking event and when it comes to introducing themselves or talking about what they do, they are not passionate about it. So this is why I'm so passionate about what I do, right? Because this is truly what I'm passionate about and the reasons, why I do what I do. So because I see so many female entrepreneurs or coaches or consultants or freelancers, when I say entrepreneurs, I mean service-based entrepreneurs. They have amazing product or they have amazing skill or they have amazing business. They have amazing ideas or logos or message to share. And they really want to share, but they are not ready or they struggle with putting themselves out there for the fear of other people's judgment. Usually this is what I hear all the time, or other people's opinion, right? Or they suffer from imposter syndrome. Who do I think I am? Why would anyone listen to me? What if I say something wrong? What if I give wrong information? These are what my clients said to me when they first come to me. And I see many business coaches or marketing gurus out there, right? They only teach you the strategies, but they won't help you overcome the fear first, or they won't help you overcome your mindset block, right? They only teach you the strategies. And we know video, right? Video has the highest engagement rate. And you need to go live like this, right? What we are doing now, you need to be in front of camera, you need to speak, you need to share your expertise, or you need to make videos. But I always say, what if you have visibility fear, right? What if you have fear of public speaking? What if you have fear of being in front of camera? I have a client I shared with you before, I remember. Like her only fear, right? Her biggest fear is to go live. And she has never done live throughout the past 2 years, ever since she started her own business. And when I asked her, do you have any clients? She said, no. right? Because she's not showing up, she's not putting herself out there. So how are you going to implement all these strategies they teach? No. And this is where I come in, right? This is why I'm so passionate about what I do. This is why I'm so passionate about helping my female entrepreneurs, coaches, consultants to gain unshakable confidence and clarity and courage to show up and shine.
Interesting. Okay, guys, if you're watching us, if you have any questions for our visibility queen, feel free to drop into the comments and then I will ask Joyan. All right, Joyan, very interesting that you have been observing how people behave when they are at network events, when they introduce themselves. You don't feel the energy. It's like they're not passionate about what they do. I feel that as well. How can you get your customers to get excited about your service and products when you do not put out the energy to feel excited how you introduce yourselves? But we are not going into that area department today. We're talking about visibility. How do you define visibility? Is it showing your face, or maybe someone who writes blog or blogs or text or articles, newsletters? Is that also part of visibility?
Okay, I love that question. Actually, no one has ever asked me that question before. Like, how do you define visibility? So to me, visibility is all about not showing your face, not showing anything, but all about showing up, right? All about showing up. How you brand yourself, how you position yourself, how you see yourself, and most importantly, how others see you in this industry. Because if you don't take yourself seriously, no one will take you seriously. And the second part of the question is, if someone loves to blog, right? She loves to write. Is it part of visibility? I love this question because I always tell my students or people that I work with to show up first in the modality that you love the most, that allows you to express who you really are, who you truly are fully. And there are only three modalities, right? Three modalities that you can choose from. You might want to write it down, like people who are watching or listening. So ask
Yes,
yourself,
write it
are
down.
you
Write
a
it down.
writer? Are you a writer? Do you love to write? If yes, then blogging will be perfect for you. Or you can publish your articles on Medium, right? These are all platforms that you can use for free. Or are you a speaker? Or are you, an aspiring speaker like Herman? You want to be a TEDx speaker one day, right? If you're like me, you like to speak, then you want to start with videos. You want to start going live with other experts or go live on your own and use like YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram as your visibility platforms. And the third and final one is audio, right? Meaning you like to speak, but not necessarily like we want to show your face. Then you can start a podcast, or you can use Clubhouse. I don't even know if people are still using Clubhouse, but you get what I mean, right? Podcast will be your perfect heaven. So the idea is to show up in a way that makes you feel good, that gets you excited about showing up and sharing your voice, that says who you are, that allows you to take action from a place of joy, confidence, and empowerment instead of fear, scarcity, and overwhelm, right? And most importantly, right, it doesn't feel like work. Like I have a podcast, it never feels like work because I love what I do. I love podcasting because you are having fun, you are enjoying the process, which is so important because so often you learn a marketing strategy or you learn a cookie cutter comment tactic and it just doesn't work for you. As a result, you dread showing up, right? You dread showing up, or you are not being consistent, or you procrastinate. Either way, you will not be growing your business, or you will not be growing your audience. So my coaching is all about helping you to create your own aligned visibility strategies. I won't teach you what works for me. I will teach you what works for you, right? Because what works for me might not work for you. What works for you might not work for me. So my job is to help you create a strategy that works for you and only you. And that lights you up, that makes you feel excited, that you will be consistent and you'll just keep taking action.
I want to show you a comment from our matchmaker. That's how we met. From Bob Lowe.
Who's the king?
Who is the king here, Bob? The reason why I say matchmaker is because we met through Bob's event, right? So
Yeah.
a big thank you to Bob. Now, terrified. I used to be very terrified when I show myself speaking in front of videos, recording myself. I start to shake. So what kind of advice can you give someone who is so scared to show her face or his face online?
Yeah. You got to understand what is really holding you back, right? What is your greatest fear? Why are you so scared to show yourself online? Because the truth is, if you are scared, like you in the past, it means that you want to show yourself, but something is holding you back, right? Because if you don't see a need to show yourself and be seen and heard, you won't be bothered at all. Like, why do you want to show out online, right? There are so many things you can do. Like, before I become a coach and started my own online business, or like started showing out online, I was only sharing my daily life, like my food picture, my travel pictures and stuff like that, right? I didn't have fear. You wouldn't have fear when it comes to showing your picture, your dinner, your lunch like that, right? But
Yeah.
now, when it comes to showing up and sharing your voice, your message, something that is so close to your heart, something that matters so much to you, you all of a sudden you have fear because you are worrying about what everyone else, right? Usually these are your friends or your family or your high school friend or your ex-colleagues, people who know you in the past. What are they going to say about you? You know, I have a
Yeah.
client. She told me, Joyan, I'm so scared to change my LinkedIn title because I'm so worried. I worry about my ex-colleague. What would they think about me now they see that I started my own online business. So maybe it's not about the fear of other people's judgment, but something else. So my question is, I want you to ask yourself if you have fear of, around putting yourself out there or visibility. The question that you need to ask yourself is, what is your greatest fear? What is really holding you back? Because without that clarity, without putting a finger onto what the thing that is holding you back, you won't find ways to overcome it, and you are going to stay stuck and live in fear forever.
I believe through my experience, including myself, the fear that is holding us back is because we are focusing on a lot of wrong things. Like we focus on, oh, whether my lipstick is the correct color. How should, I mean, what do they think about my lipstick, about my dress? We are focusing on all the wrong things. Instead, we should focus on the value that we give to the audience. That's why a lot of us are so scared to show ourselves. You agree with that or you disagree?
No, totally. I agree with 100% with everything you say. Anyway, yes, you mentioned a really key point here because you are so scared. It's because you are focusing on yourself. You are
Mm-hmm.
focusing. It's all about me, 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 me. Look at me, right? It's all about
Yeah.
you.
How is
But
my hair today?
yeah,
Nice color?
me, perfect. How's my lipstick today?
Good.
No, you are focusing on the wrong person. You should focus on your audience, the people that you want to help, your ideal clients, because running a coaching business is really not about you after all, right? It's about the people that you want to help. It's not about you at all. So if you focus too much on you, of course you will have anxiety because you are focusing on you and only you. So yeah, great. I love that.
Hey guys, if you have just logged in, this is Joyan Chan, our visibility queen in Singapore, but
For
she's from
today.
Malaysia. Sorry?
Visibility queen for today.
For today. So we're talking about should you or should you not be visible in your personal brand? Any questions, please do me a favor and drop it in the comment section. So, Joanne, when did you realize that you need to be visible in your business?
You mean for me in particular?
For you, yes.
Okay.
When did you realize, oh, I have to be visible too?
The moment I started my own business. And actually it was beginning in the beginning of pandemic, right? When everyone was at home, like you couldn't go anywhere, and the only way to connect with people is through social media. So that was when I started my own coaching business, to be honest, and doing what I do today. So I was like, okay, now, and how I started, I really just want to share my stories. That was the only thing that I want to do. I just want to share my stories and share what I know, share my knowledge, share my experiences. So I started with that, and it grew, right? And I started attracting people who resonate with my stories, and they thank me and they want to work with me. So that's how I build my own personal brand, to be honest.
Okay, um, let me show you one comment from our audience from Jason. He says, I can relate so much to that, Herman, especially you are a photographer. What if my photo is not as good as other photographers? I guess
Mm.
this question is for me, right, Joanne?
Yes. Take it, take it.
I'm not sure if I understand your question correctly, Jason. Are you saying that what if the photos that I produce is not as good as the other photographers who are doing the same kind of genre as me? I suppose that's what he meant. You agree, Joanne?
Yeah, I think so. It's like you are comparing yourself to other people, I guess, on
Mm-hmm.
social media. Yeah. So
Okay.
how do you deal with that? Maybe that's what he's trying to ask.
Honestly, I've never compared my work to other photographers because I have my style, I have my gift. My customers come to me because of a certain reason. They come to me because of me, of my personality, because I can add value to their portfolio. As long as my customers love what I deliver to them, I don't care what other photographers are doing. All right.
Yeah.
So you don't focus on your competitors. Well, you can look at what they do, but you focus on yourself. I hope that answered your question, Jason.
I hope so.
In, I hope so too. Okay. Next question. Let's see. Ahmed. Good question, Herman. The same thing we faced. All right. Now there's another question from Hey
Wow.
Joanna. Long
Yeah.
time no talk. Okay, she says you need to focus on your audience. However, your audience is focusing on you, and for you to be listened to you, and for you to be listened to, you need to eliminate barriers to your success and become self-aware. See others how others see you. The brain can only listen to your message if they are not distracted. Welcome sharing these thoughts with you, Herman, on a LinkedIn Live. Thank you so much, Joanna. Wow, I appreciate all your comments and watching us live.
Awesome.
Awesome, right, Joanne? Is there such a thing as overly visible? What are your thoughts about this?
I love that because
You see this person all the time.
I don't think you can be overly visible. Here's my take,
Mhm.
right? Because that is the whole point of visibility, which is another word I would say is ubiquity, right? You want to be seen everywhere on all major platforms, and here is why. Let me tell you, right? Your LinkedIn connections, they might not be your followers on Instagram. Your Instagram followers, they are not your Facebook friends, right? Your Facebook friends, they are not your TikTok followers. Your TikTok followers, they will not be your YouTube subscribers, right? So don't worry about being overly visible or being seen everywhere. And that is a goal, right? You want to be seen everywhere because you can never be overly visible. Do you think? Let me ask you, right? Do you think people see your content every time you post it? No. Maybe even like only 2 to 5%, right? In a world where we are being constantly being bombarded by advertisement, by news, by information, by selfies, you think people like this is how I scroll through my social media, I'm scrolling this fast. Do you think people see your content every time you post? No, right? So the more visible you are, the more attention you capture. And you actually give your audience a second chance to see what you have posted, you see your content, right? So you want to
Mhm.
share your content everywhere. That's what I always tell my clients. Share your content everywhere. Because you spend so much time creating a piece of content. Why don't you want to get it out to like reach out to many people, right?
You said everywhere. Do you mean Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter? They have to be visible on all these platforms. Is that what you mean?
I would say yes and no.
Mm-hmm.
Because actually there is a strategy that I teach my students, which I will not be sharing here.
Okay.
They can create just one piece of content every week, and they are done for the week and they will be seen on all major platforms. So it's actually just one time effort, and you can be seen on everywhere, right? And but of course I would say start with like three, and let's start with three, right? Start with platforms that you love. Like again, start with using the modalities that you love. Start with platforms that your ideal clients they are hanging out. So this is why you want to do your market research. See where they are hanging out. Maybe they are on LinkedIn, maybe they are on Facebook, maybe they are not on Twitter. So forget about it, right? Just focus on three first. Start with three. And then slowly you can expand your reach. If you have grow a team, if you feel like it's time to scale up your visibility, then you can expand.
If I can say is do what you want and test it. Test the water. All right? Go on all platforms. If Twitter works, stick to it. If it doesn't, give yourself 6 months to 1 year and be patient with yourself. All right? And don't fish for likes. All right? Just add value to your audience. I want to show you this comment from Michael. Hey, Joanna and Herman, how important is your personal story for your own branding? Oh, this is not about visibility. I like this question. Joanne, over to you.
Sure. How important is your personal story for your own branding? I love that. Your personal story is everything. Why? Because if you know, right, there is this a framework that we call the hero's journey or the origin story. I'm sure most of you have heard of it before. So the idea is basically to share your own story. Like, why do you do what you do today? Because people don't buy people, what is the saying again? People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. So by sharing your stories, it shows that this is why I do what I do today. Like I share with you my story. Actually, I didn't, right? But why I do what I do today, because I struggle in the past. I struggle in the beginning. So I don't want to see other female entrepreneurs struggle. So I will share my origin story, how I came from, how I went from being an overwhelmed newbie or nobody to the confident authority or the award-winning coach I am today.
To the
So
queen.
that is the visibility queen. That is the story that you want to tell every time. So I would say is everything is 100% your personal story. What do you think, Herman?
Yes, yes. I love this subject. Personal story is very important because human beings are emotional creatures. They buy when they read your stories. If they resonate with your stories, they will connect with you on a personal level, and that's where the communication starts. So don't
Yeah,
be afraid to share your personal story because that is very, very powerful. I hope that answers Michael's question.
I hope
And
so.
he has another question for you, Joanne. Wow, I love this today's topic. Is it more important volume or quality of the content?
Volume as in many
A
contents.
lot of posts probably, I
Okay,
suppose. Yeah,
I
compared
see.
to the quality. Maybe one post, but excellent quality. Or you can have
I
10
would say,
posts,
yeah.
so
Okay.
quality.
Okay. Yes, of course, I would go for quality, right? There's no use to put out 10 posts and no one engages with your content, rather than having one solid content and everyone engage with your content, everyone likes that, everyone comments, right? So I will go for what you call that, quality. But again, you want to be consistent. You don't want to just throw out one content once a month. No one's gonna know you, right? You don't want to just like show as and when you like. You want to be consistent. So, and this is another mistake that I see many people make. They are not being consistent. And when I say consistent, it doesn't mean that you have to show up every day, create content all day long, right? No, it's about if you want to show up, go live once a week, then go live once a week, right? Because then your audience will know, okay, I'm expecting a live from Chow. I know he's going to put out a new video content. So you want to give your audience, to expect something from you. They know that it's going to be there. What do you
Mhm.
think?
I always feel that if you want to post 10 articles and you do not know whether your quality or content is good or not, just post it out. Like I said earlier, test it. You don't know what will happen. All right, just test it. Because I've noticed when I post videos on LinkedIn, it doesn't get much engagement when I write a text. That's my observation on LinkedIn. But on Instagram, that's a different story. We have another question from Bob. Okay, how do you include? I don't know how to pronounce that word. I always have problems with that V word, but the second word is visibility. How do you
Okay.
include?
Like you said earlier, right? I believe vulnerability is it includes our personal story, our own journey. So, like you mentioned earlier, right? It's all about human connection. It's all about building a connection with your audience. It's all about building real and genuine connection with your audience. And I always say, when it comes to showing up online, so often we think that we have to be perfect, or we have to show the best side of ourselves, so the perfect version of ourselves where we cannot make mistake. No, right? You are not a VCR machine. You are a human being, and your audience, they have to know, they have to see that, oh, Chow, Joyan, they are actually like, they are just like me. They are real human beings. They have emotions, right? So let me ask you, if you have someone who posts talk about business all every day, right? All their posts is all about business. They are trying to sell you something. How do you feel about that? You won't feel good. You feel like they are trying too hard, being too pushy, being too salesy. Versus someone who talks about their story, who's showing their emotion, and then the soft sell, share their, oh, this is how I can, you can work with me, right? Of course, you will want to work with someone, person B. Again, no like trust factor. People have to know you, like you, and trust you. Then they will work with you, hire you, or buy from you. So don't be afraid to show your emotions. Don't be afraid to make mistake. Don't be afraid to show your story. You don't have to be perfect. right? You don't have to be perfect because people will not resonate with you. People will not relate to you when you are perfect. And people won't like you if you're perfect, right? We don't like people who are perfect. True or true?
I don't know about that. There's one point you mentioned which is pretty fascinating. Don't talk about business all the time. Is that you mentioned earlier? Actually, it's okay if you want to talk about business all the time, but from my opinion, if you are serving someone who is a human being, if you're not serving a robot like Alexa or Siri, you're serving a human being. There must be a human connection on a personal level. Like I said, it's okay to talk about business all the time, but we are human beings after all. You want to connect with that person. It's okay to show your emotions. All right.
Yeah.
Now, I want to talk about personal story. We have a lot of life experiences. What are some of the stories that we can actually show or tell or share with our audience, and what can we not share?
You mean when it
Is
comes
this,
to story?
yeah, personal story? Can we touch a bit about that?
Okay, sure.
Because we have so many stories in life. Some are really dramatic, but it could also resonate with someone in our audience, in our target group. So, what kind of stories can we share, and what kind of stories we rather not share?
I would say do what makes you feel comfortable. If you're comfortable with sharing your, like I have so many stories, and
Mhm.
I feel comfortable with sharing this story, but not that story. So ask yourself, do I feel comfortable? How does it make you feel? How does it make you feel? Do you feel comfortable sharing this story? Is there really a need to share this story? So why do you want to share this story? Like for example, the story that I keep sharing is my depression. How I actually turn my depression into empowerment. Why I share that story is because that is the reason why I become a coach today. So here's what I want you to know, right? Everything that you tell a story, you want to link it back to something that you are doing today. You don't want to just tell a story and then full stop. Then you leave your audience hanging. They will be like, okay, so what is next? What do they want? What do you want them to do now? Right? You want to include, you want to always like bring it back to what you are doing today. Find a way to bridge the gap, tell a story, and then link it back to what you are doing today. For example, Herman, you have a story of printed photograph that you talk, on stage. And then you link it back to what you're doing today, which is being a photographer, right? Which is why you want to help people to capture memory, right? You want to help people who are not, who don't like to be photographed, you right? You want to tell them why it's important. So that's what I would
Mhm.
say. Do what makes you comfortable. If you don't feel comfortable sharing a vulnerable story, don't share it. Don't do it. Right? No one is pointing a gun and asking you to share a story. So I hope that that makes sense.
If I am your personal branding coach,
Yep.
I would strongly encourage you to share your personal story, even though you're not comfortable.
Well, I
Because,
love
like
that.
I said, you never know who will resonate with the story. All right? Do it. Get out of your comfort zone and share it. I'm not asking you to share naked pictures, share your stories. Maybe how you become an entrepreneur, something like that.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get on with that. We have a lot of questions from Michael.
Okay.
How do you, as a consumer or follower, recognize the presented story is real and not fake, like greenwashing and similar marketing tools? It looks like we're talking about personal branding.
I know.
Well, it's interrelated,
Yeah.
visibility and personal branding.
Okay. So
Is
is
it
that,
okay, Joanne, this question?
sure. How do you, as a consumer, recognize it? Okay. I would say you wouldn't know. You
Hmm.
wouldn't know. It's all about trust. Do you trust this person? Right? And here's the example that I can give you, right? So many times, and this is what actually being in the industry, this is what I observe. I'm not sure whether I can share it here. I hope so. So, there are many people who say they can teach you how to make 10,000 in your business, like in 1 month or in like 30 days, something like that, right? That's their so-called, like their sales pitch. How do you know it's real? Let me ask you, how
Hmm.
do you know it's real? But you buy into it
You
because
don't
that is
know.
what you want. That is your desire. And they know how to leverage on your goals and desire. They know what you want. And there's no proof, to be honest. You wouldn't know. They won't show you their bank account, right? You wouldn't know. Really no way you can find out who is real, who is fake.
Hmm.
So I'm not sure about you, Chow. Maybe you have some other experiences that you can share with Michael as well.
I can relate to this because in the past I see a lot of videos, advertisements, YouTube, that someone holding a laptop, walking on the beach, and telling you that they can earn so much money within a day. But you hardly see them on other platforms. You only see them on that ad. So you must be asking yourself, who is this person? Is he trustworthy, or is she a trusted person? So you have to be wise. You have to be aware of what's happening. So that's why your visibility comes in.
Yeah.
You have to see that person often to gain the
Exactly.
trust.
Yeah.
Right? All of a sudden that advertisement appears, and then, oh, who is this person earning $10 million a day on the beach? If I'm on the beach, I wouldn't take my laptop with me. I would just be sun tanning. Why would I work? Right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Michael. Oh, Michael, you are really a supporter on our
Thank you,
show.
Michael.
Okay, Michael, another question. You speak a lot about human. Will you switch your title on LinkedIn for human only?
What does it? What do you mean by
Well,
that?
well,
No,
Michael is all about human connection.
I see. I see.
So he loves to be connected to human beings. All right, Joanne. Imagine a business owner is already visible on LinkedIn, but not enough. Probably once a week.
Okay.
Can you give 3 ways to increase the visibility?
Okay. Sure. I would say not just for LinkedIn, but in general, my general advice, my general top three tips for increasing your visibility would be okay. I won't be going through like each and every single one of them, but the three tips would be: first, repurpose your content, right? Repurpose your content. Second, this is what we talk about. We have been talking about build a strong and authentic personal brand. And third, network with other experts. So these are the three tips that I will give to anyone who wants to increase their visibility right away. Let me say it again: repurpose your content, build a strong, authentic personal brand, and network with other experts.
Maybe we can do another show on how to build a strong brand. But I want to go back to your point number one,
Yeah.
repurpose. Can you briefly elaborate what do you mean by repurpose your content?
Okay, sure.
Yeah, just
So
briefly. Yeah.
yeah, like I mentioned earlier, you spend so much time creating a piece of content. You want to
Mhm.
make sure it reaches many people as possible. Many people see your content, right? So repurposing your content, meaning there are two ways. First, let's say this live that we are doing right now. After we've done the live, I can cut out a short 15 minutes clip, the best moment, and put it on my IG as a IG reel or TikTok. Or I can share on my YouTube channel, and then I can write an email and send it to my subscribers. Say, hey, I just went live this week with my best friend from Netherlands. Click this link and watch it, and I drive them drive the traffic back to my YouTube channel. And also I can create a post, a carousel post on Instagram, a quote that I said that profoundly said can't even imagine, right? And become a quote, and I share on my IG or share my Facebook. Or I can even write an article based on what I shared here and post it on LinkedIn. So this is what I mean by repurposing your content. And the other way that you can repurpose your content, I would say once every 3 months, reuse your content. Actually repost your content, because people will not remember what you posted 3 months ago. People will not even remember what you posted last week. So use your best content. Like I said, earlier you said about testing your material, right? Testing your material. So if you go to I'm not sure about LinkedIn, but I know Instagram, you can actually go to your analytics and see which one are your best performance posts, and then reuse them because they are your best posts, right? It works. People love it. So repost them. That's what I mean by repurposing your content.
Woohoo! Wow, so many
Okay.
tips today. You know what? If I was not active on social media, and when I hear you say that, I would be very scared repurposing my content. I have to use a video and then cut something out. You have to be creative on this, and you must be thinking, shit, where do I get all the time to do all this? Right?
It actually saves you a lot more time if you were to repurpose your content than to create a new piece of content, isn't it?
Now, don't let this, hold you back, because as a business owner, you have to
Yeah.
spend time on all this,
Yes.
building up your personal brand.
Or you just
Okay,
hire someone to do it for you, right? You don't have to do it
exactly.
yourself. Yeah.
If you have the budget, ask
Yeah.
someone to do it for you. Okay, another comment. Wow,
Wow.
comments are coming in. I love that.
Love
Is indeed an often seen approach to people by those working at the beach with a laptop this way. They give possible clients the idea they could almost become rich doing nothing while they, the advertisers, sell their product, gaining from these people that follow them. Exactly. I don't know who wrote this. It just says a LinkedIn user.
Oh,
Yeah, it gives sometimes a misleading message to people, right? That you can earn a lot of money just with a laptop on the beach. Okay, great discussion. Thank you for sharing your insights. Have a nice time, free of waste. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, thank you.
thank you.
One more comment from Bharat.
Hi, Bharat.
Great suggestion. Repost.
Yes.
Yes, you have to put in your time and your effort to create content and be visible. I have one last question for you, Joanne. Um,
Okay.
what are the three common mistakes that business people make when it comes to visibility? I know you mentioned one on consistency.
Yeah.
So, what are the other two?
Sure. So, well, thank God you still remember the one who said that. You are listening. I love that. So yes, I can't even remember that I mentioned about consistent. So yes, the common mistake that I see is not being consistent. And these are the people that usually come to me for coaching because they are struggling with being consistent. And I would say, how do you overcome it? First, you want to come with your own visibility strategies, right? And stick to the plan. You don't need motivation. Okay, listen to me. You don't need motivation. If you are waiting for motivation to strike you to take any action, you will be waiting for a long, long time. You will not take any action. What you really need is momentum. Momentum, not motivation, right? Your motivation will only stay if you have momentum. So come up with your own strategies, stick to the plan, right? If you say every Monday I'm going live, then every Monday go live. Execute the plan, show up whether you feel like it or not. I don't care, right? Show up whether you feel like it or not. Second mistake, I would say is also what I actually mentioned earlier. You are spending too much time focusing on content creation, but not content marketing, or other people might say like content distribution. So I think I also like mentioned about how to overcome it is by repurposing your content, because your job is not to create content, right? I believe our as we start our own business is not just to create content, right? We want to help people, want to take photos, we want to coach people. I'm passionate about coaching people. It's not about creating content. So your job is not to spend all your time creating content and hoping that it goes viral, because there is no formula to it. If you ask anyone, how do I create a viral content? They will tell you, I have no idea. There's no formula, right? But if you were to ask me, Joanne, how do I explode my visibility? I have a formula for you, right? Which
Mm-hmm.
is the distribution. Third mistake I would say is you think you need to have a large following or like a large audience to start showing up or to start sharing your voice, to start getting clients. I have a client, she's quite new. She only has like 400 followers on IG, on Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
and she has already signed a few one-on-one clients. So it's not about the numbers, right? It's not about the numbers game. Because if you sell a one-on-one service, because I work with female entrepreneurs who sell one-on-one service, you don't need 1,000 followers to get clients, right? You don't need 1,000 followers to get clients. You just need to show up. You just need to put yourself in front of the right audience. Maybe you just need to put yourself in front of like 20 or 50 perfect ideal clients. Then you just need like, if you just close 10%, that's like 2 or 5 clients, and that's good enough for a business. So these are the 3 mistakes that I would say and how to avoid it. I hope that makes sense.
Yes, it makes sense. Bravo, bravo, bravo. If I may say something or add to this on visibility, where people say that I am not comfortable to show myself. Okay, let's take a step back. You show your face to to your neighbors. If you have children, maybe you show your face to the your children's teachers. So don't use this excuse to say that you're not comfortable to show your face to customers. I'm being very direct here, right? When you talk to your neighbors, you don't hide yourself, right? You don't close the curtains. When you go to the supermarket at the cashier, you don't hide your face. You show your face to people. So straighten your crown and own it. All right, own it. You deserve it. Yes, your crown.
Great. Great. Yes. I love that.
So thank you so much,
Thank
Joanne,
you.
for your time and your valuable tips on visibility. We should do another event on personal branding if you're
Sure.
interested, and we should discuss about that.
Sure. I'm all in.
Okay, thank you. I speak to you soon.
Yeah.
Ciao.